Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Sisters Podcast. How's everyone doing? This is Gabrielle Celeste. Welcome.
Hi guys, it's Brianna, and we are live after having a strand of the neurovirus.
Oh, that was rough. So full disclosure, this first 20-ish minutes are just going to be pretty much me complaining. So the helpful, supportive, enlightening conversation will take place in the second half of the recording, so enjoy and fast forward if you wish. But yeah, the neurovirus, it took us out.
It took the whole family out. Gabby was patient zero. Let's go to the very beginning. Guys, we made it back from Oregon.
We sure did.
Officially back from the 14-hour drive that I'm sure you guys were able to see on our stories. It was a long one. But we stopped 4 times. Kudos to us.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we got home, Gabby thought she got food poisoning. Turns out, not food poisoning. It was worse.
Everyone thought it was way worse. Food poisoning. Everyone, I was like, at some point, like halfway through, well, actually, let's go back to the whole drive. Brianna drove the whole way. I offered. She did not want to. And I was like, okay. And also, I only pottied 3 times out of the 4 stops. So, boom.
Mm-hmm. She did really good. Our joke is that she dehydrated herself.
Oh, well, that did not support me during the neurovirus process. Because, so yeah, Tyler's like, it's food poisoning, blah, blah. And let me tell you guys, so the way that it started, we left at 4:45 that morning. We got back at about 7:30. So we did really, really good time. And then we had hit Mexican food for dinner. And then I went to bed, and then about 12:30, I was already feeling like a little bit off in like my stomach area because I had been eating out for the last 3 days because we were just traveling, right? So your stomach's never going to be like it's like not operating normally, you know? And I was like, am I just like TMI backed up? Am I just not feeling 100%? So that night, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, when you just get sick. Because with food poisoning, you can tell, like, as soon as you eat it, like, it's just not going down the right way.
You get that taste in the back of your throat, and it's like, ooh, this ain't right.
Yeah, and I didn't have that. And then I was like, it started at 12:30 in the morning, and it was pretty much like all day up until like 1, and then I was just done. I just slept from like 8 onwards, but it was on and off sleep, but like, the vomiting and the diarrhea, like it was so awful, and it's every single hour on the hour throughout the evening. And there was a point where I was like, I am okay with dying. Like I'm okay. Like take me now.
I was like, oh, this is how I go. This is it. I'm done.
Okay, well, here's the thing. There was like one point where I was like, "Oh, I'm scared. Like this isn't stopping. Like this isn't normal." And I was like, "This cannot be food poisoning." But Tyler was convinced it was, and then guess what happens? What is it like?
Mom was convinced. I was convinced. We were all convinced that you had food poisoning. We were all convinced because
I've never been taken out like that by food poisoning.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Pregnancy have taken me out like that too. So I was like, "Oh, this is first trimester all over again for me."
Well, okay, so then fast forward, I sleep all day. This is Tuesday into Wednesday. Wednesday, Brandon and Tyler are fine. And then Mom is leaving for her trip for a month.
So I had to drive her to the airport.
This was Thursday evening.
Mom was gone after this point. We've been solo dolo, Tyler and I at the house.
Yeah. And so then I was like, I just want to be in San Diego for the 4th, right? I wake up on the morning of the 4th. Actually, not even Brianna wakes me up because it's in the middle of the night. And then what do I hear? Both of them are sick. So that's how I was like, oh, this is a virus.
Hang on.
And you know,
guys, I'm surprised she heard me. I'm a very quiet puker. Like, I don't puke where it sounds like The Exorcist. Gabby pukes like The Exorcist, so the entire house knows.
Oh, no, Tyler's worse. He's the worst, yeah.
Those two, that like, you know when they're sick. You know when they are. It's like, if I go in there and just be like, did you just get sick? No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I got sick.
So Yeah, so I wake up on the 4th and I was like, "I can't leave them, like, they need help with the baby," and the poor baby gets sick that evening, and but you know what? They're so resilient, he recovered so quickly.
Yeah, I think it was a total of 8 hours for me getting sick. It was 4 hours for my son, and I felt horrible. Like when your kid gets sick, it's a whole different thing. Like you wish you can take that pain away from them and just take it tenfold and do it
Mhm.
all over again so they didn't have to deal with it. But he woke up in the morning and he said, "Coffee donuts, mama?" I said, "Oh, you okay? Did
Yeah.
anything happen to you?"
Oh, he's so cute, yeah, and then he but I was scared, I was like, "Oh, this" 'cause I took care of him for the majority of the day, and then I was like, "Oh, this is gonna hit him, like, there's just no way, he's been around all of us," right? But he handled it really quickly and well, and yeah, anyways, the norovirus, apparently it's airborne, it's going around.
It was
We see you
awful.
if you have it. Yeah,
Patient zero here, guys.
it was awful. It was awful, and that's not even the shit talking I wanted to get to today.
No, we can get to the shit talking. That was
Yeah.
just the awful shit that we went through, literally.
Literally. This is TMI, you can take this out if it doesn't work out.
Oh, I don't
But
care.
Brianna was like, "I've never been on the
Oh,
toilet
what?
and it coming and it coming out of my mouth at the
You know
same
what?
time."
I don't care. I'll own it. I literally, I don't know if I jinxed myself, if I manifested myself into this fucking predicament, but I was like, I have never had it come out of both ends in my almost 32 years of life. Not even 24 hours later, I said, "Gabby, I retract what I said. I take it back. I can't claim this anymore."
It was
It
awful.
was
It was
so
awful.
bad.
It's the worst,
Nope.
and there was literally I was like, "What is this?" And I like, mom had to help me off the ground, like, that's how bad it was, and I was like, "This would just suck if I was by myself doing this."
Mom was a trooper, though. Mom
Mom
got
was a
sick in a
trooper.
whole different
Our
continent.
mom was sick on the flight, like, she got sick on the flight, and poor thing, it's, like, not like she meant to be, like, she literally just happened to get sick while on the flight. That's the worst, that's a whole different kind of pain. I've had, stomach sickness flying from Europe. It was
You know
bad,
who
like,
didn't? Our
mm,
stepdad, because he's pickled. He
yeah,
never gets sick.
that man never sick, ever, ever, ever,
Never.
ever. So, okay, that's part 1 of the shit talking. What we're talking about today, literally, is how shadow work makes you more psychic. I oftentimes get so many questions, and I'm just like not prepared to do this. I don't feel like I'm ready for this because I feel like there's a different sense of responsibility and accountability and sense of shadow work that is necessary if you are teaching people how to open up their chakras and to become or to tap into their psychicness. And I get all the time, they're like, "Hey, do you do one-to-one coaching? Do you like are you willing to, help me be able to do what you do, like aside from the astrology?" And I just like I don't feel like it's time for me to do that just yet, but also I wanted to answer that so people can maybe start to do that for themselves if they feel called because that was my approach. Like I started to do a lot of work on my own before I sought mentorship and help. And I will just say that the way to become more psychic is to do the shadow work. And it's not necessarily to give away your power to the darkness, but to like observe it and to acknowledge it and to integrate that with yourself. So, we're going to go through examples of what this can look like in each of the chakras: root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And you can see maybe where that like applies to you. So Brianna's going to give us the Sagittarian commentary and I'm going to, drive. She's vibing. But I also wanted to provide insight as to how we even got here. Like, why did this topic come up? And as many of you guys know, I turned 33 on June 22nd, and that's the Jesus year. And from a shamanic perspective, 33 adds up to 6. It's a master number. And 6 is actually considered to be a perfect number, and it's the year of experimentation. So what's really interesting about that is I don't even know if I told you this, Brianna. On my birthday, actually, you guys are going to hear a different side of me on this episode. You're going to see, I'm still going to be very tactful and mindful of like what I'm saying. But there was a lot of anger and frustration leading into my birthday and what I feel is being asked of me in this year and what has been and continue to be asked of me. And I just recognized that, like, oh, like on my birthday, like leading up to that, you also want to be in a really good mood around your birthday because you're setting the tone for the next 12 months. And I like was just so sad. Like I cried all day at the spa. I cried all day at the spa. Brianna.
Dude, guys, she literally did not stop crying. I'm over chilling by the pool with a margarita, and she just comes over with just like puffy ass eyes. I'm like, dude, who punched you in the eyes? What is going on? And she's just like, I don't know. I'm just crying, and I don't know why I'm crying. I said, I don't know. I don't know.
I was literally crying. I felt like I wanted to just crawl out of my skin. And it was this sense of like, oh, something's going to happen to me. Like something huge is happening to me within the next 3 months. And like my sense of self, my sense of identity, not even the person, like I just feel like so much of me is changing right now. Right. But it was on my 33rd birthday that I was like, oh, like you are about to do life so differently than a lot of people, the consensus, the traditional 9 to 5. And I've also like acknowledged my age too. Like I'm seeing myself get older. Like I feel older. I feel like I've just come out of the literally the shadow work for the last year. And I haven't really fully talked about that because I feel like I'm just coming out of it, and maybe could create another episode based on that. But like she tackled her Chiron and she tackled the darkness within her, and everyone has darkness within them, but I don't think people really like ever are even conscious to doing it or know how to do it. Right. And I think for me, I was in this space of like, yeah, it was really tough work. It was really, really tough work. And what's being asked of me in this next year is to come at it from an elevated perspective and to treat people with compassion, especially through the lens of my business, even if that's not what's being shown to me. And there were instances that I was like, am I going to speak to this on the podcast? But I was like, actually, I am, because I feel like there's an opportunity for it to be educational. And also, there's an opportunity for me to reflect back to myself how maybe I would have handled said situations a year ago or even 7 years ago when she was corporate, that version of myself versus now, and what's going to continue to be, and continue to do that, because it's honestly, it's like, I don't think this theme is going away. I think it's very crunchy. So what I'm saying is like, there's been a couple opportunities in my business where I have been taken advantage of. And I've really had to sit with myself and be like, what? Maybe I didn't deserve it, but what part of me allowed that to even become something I had to deal with? Like, where's the accountability on my part? And so one of those examples was, it's never been with my direct clients. My clients are beautiful. And I really set the intention before I started with my business. I was like, you know what? I'm not available for this archetype of client. Do not send me that. And that's never been a thing. But my experience in this space has been with other colleagues and people that I'm potentially collaborating with and just engaging with in this space in general. Right. And it's really people like outside of my immediate circle. It's not anyone that's been on the show. But there was an experience where, well, I guess it's an opportunity because it was a learning experience for sure, that, there was another podcaster that took advantage of me and used me for a free reading. But it's like, what did I do to attract that situation? What was the lesson with that? And it's like, you know what? Trust your gut, because you were feeling a little bit off about it beforehand, right? We exchanged words, and that was that. We closed out that energetic circle. I talked a little bit about that on my Instagram. There was another experience where I just had to acknowledge that, one of the people that I worked with for collaboration, they're not well. And that's actually something that's really like a topic that comes up often in this space that I don't think is talked about enough, where mental health is a thing. And you're pretty much working, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you get with like borderline psychosis. Like you're traveling the edge of that illusion, which is the basis for a lot of shamanic work. And this person came at me like using very litigious words, threatening me to get legal action involved. And it's like, I've only ever had an issue with one person in this way out of the many collaborations, hundreds at this point, that we've done. So I think that's more of a reflection of them than it is me. But it's like, where is that opportunity for me to not only acknowledge what I did to attract that, but also how am I going to respond to that? Not react, but respond. And am I going to show said person compassion? Because that is really what I'm really being asked to do this next year. Because 7 years ago, I would have been a cunt. Hands down, I wouldn't have let it go.
Corporate Gabby.
She was not, there's so
Corporate
many,
Gabby.
the darkness. The darkness. But it's also like, even in that situation too, like, you know, I was thinking about this. I was like, am I going to talk about this on Instagram? And I totally am. But, you know, I was accused of sleeping with my boss to climb the top, to get to the top, because I was envied, you know, like people saw my potential. And it's just like how I responded to that then. I think I actually handled it really well, really well. But the anger that I had versus like where I'm at now and how I'm, you know, really being asked to continue to evolve. Because here's the thing, the more you do this work, the more light you eventually are supposed to carry. And that comes with maybe not responding to reactions the way that I would have before and responding with anger, but instead responding from a healed space. So all this to say, there was that. So that was like, you know, that was an experience to learn from. And then the other one was just really disappointed with a colleague that presented me with an opportunity for collaboration, and the way in which they handled it really spoke to, I think, a lot of their shadow work and their lack of avoidance and accountability. And for me, it was just like, okay, that was my third sign. Within like a 3-month period, there are changes that are happening that I'm taking for myself in order to continue to protect myself and my business, the integrity of my business, and like how I'm moving forward and how I'm choosing to clean house and how I'm operating. So that's how the topic of how to shadow work makes you more psychic came up.
What is it that Dad said? If you don't have people that envy you, you're obviously not doing something right, or something like that. Or you are doing something right if you have people that envy you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he said.
I also think too that's like, you know, he said it, he's like, you better get used to it, Gabby, because you got more of that coming your way if you have any bit of me in you, which of course, I'm like, literally, we're two sides of the same coin. But I also think too, jealousy is one of those emotions that it's like, yo, like jealousy is just trying to show you what you want through the avenue of another person. But it's like Selena Quintanilla, like homegirl was murdered because her homie supposedly,
I'll
you
go to
know, she
jail
was
if
so
she comes
envious.
out. I don't care. I'll come
She's not
after
coming
her.
out.
I know she won't. But let me tell you, there's a ton of us that'll go after her.
There are people
We
waiting for
ride
her.
at dawn.
So yeah, but you know, it was just, that was just, the last 6 months have been super disappointing, even just from like expectations and how, you know, I thought my business would have looked by this point. And I don't think that's talked about enough, because you just see, you know, it's this is actually something like, not only am I highly aware of my own shadow, but the more you do this work, you become aware of other people's shadow. And what I will say, you know, being what, how many years am I in the game now? It's like a few.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like I guess like 2 to 3, 4 years, somewhere in there. There are a lot of fake fucks in this space, if I'm being perfectly honest. And it's like, not everyone's operating from a place of integrity or truly about the work. And I think if they were, I don't know that their shadow would really be leading the game the way it is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I can't tell you how many times I bet you I see these like live TikToks where it's just like people pulling tarot cards. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, or giving readings. Like,
Mhm.
and they'll have like thousands of people on their lives because I'll pop in just to see what they're doing. And
Mhm.
then I'm like, wait, are these pre-recorded? Because I, being the Virgo I am, and very detail oriented, I'll look and see the followers that are there, and I'll be like, did you pick somebody from here, or are they
Mhm.
pre-recorded just so you can make money off of it because you don't have good intentions of what you're doing?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it is just, it's been a very expansive period of time, in the sense of like, okay, like I had, here's the thing with me. I'm the type of person where there's no reason for me to react or to respond and not give you the benefit of the doubt unless you show me. But I've been shown a lot, and not in the best way, in the last few months, that I'm just like, okay, like trust your gut, set those standards, you're not engaging. And it's not even like a defensive, it's more like, I guess, protection. But it's like, not everyone gets to have that kind of access to your energy or even that opportunity, because what does that do for me?
Nothing.
Yeah. So What are the benefits? So that was a little cue, Brian. I feel like I said that tactfully, like we talked about.
You did. Honestly, I was, guys, I was a little worried. Just a little worried she's going to come out as a little spicy on this one because on the car ride down, let me tell you, she was salty. She
So
was a salty cracker.
you should see the notes for this because I did these notes last week. Night and day.
Oh,
Night and day. And night and day. Well, in my defense, not that I need it, but like, you know, I was PMSing, just finished my period, so that definitely makes a difference. Oh, and happy full moon in Capricorn at the time of recording, baby.
Oh.
So full moon energy. It's ending completions. She's evolved. So, anyways, it's really just giving people grace and compassion, even if they don't deserve it.
That's definitely something that you work on. I feel for me personally, I do that super easy because I just don't want things get to me.
That is one of Brianna's gifts, truly. Like, that is like her light. Like, she's so forgiving. She does not hold on to things the way I do at all.
It's just, I don't care.
I'm telling you, she's a Sag.
I don't care. Like, there was the one time that you decided to try and make a huge ass scene during COVID, and I went to Bonds with you. You want to talk about that? Because you were in the wrong on that one.
No, because I felt really bad.
Because you thought that I was going to snap. I didn't snap. I just walked away calm, cool, and collected.
No, Brianna's grown so much, and now Brianna's integration period, if you think about it, and her tests are being back in California. And it's a reflection of all the healing that you've done.
Let me tell you, remember long time ago on the episode where Nicole was like, oh yeah, she took something and broke the pool table? Oh, I own that. I took a baseball bat to the pool table.
Oh, Brianna, like, yeah, that was such a good story.
Oh yeah. I didn't care. But I will say this. It takes a lot for me to get mad, and once I get mad, I'm red. You gotta back away from me for like a cool few hours. Let me just go for a drive. Let me calm down. Like, because I'll black out. And I will see red, and I don't know what I'm saying or doing, and I will hurt feelings.
Yeah, that's true. Brianna's going to cut you with her words, maybe even physically too. But I also think it takes both of us a lot to really, really get mad. Like, really get mad. And since we've healed more, it takes even more for us to get mad. And it's so interesting too. It's like, have you seen the stupid fucking reels? But it's so true about like millennials. How are you raising your parents? And it's like, oh shit, when did we become more emotionally evolved and healed than our parents? Dude. In some instances, not all. Yes. Dude. I text you sometimes in some instances, and I'm like, what is going on right now? You with mommy with dad. You with mommy with dad. Uh-huh. Like, what? It's just like, anyways. Could not. So, see, I told you 23 minutes, give or take. There you go. Hey. Okay. So, benefits of doing shadow work, friends. I think the more that you do the inner work, the healing, acknowledge areas of improvement, for lack of a better term. I think how you handle your emotions, what you decide to give your energy to, what takes up space in your system and your field, what you have the capacity for, you really start to reevaluate that, to acknowledge it. You start to maybe change your approach with who you would let in, who has access to you. And at its core, the process of healing is really just coming back to yourself. You're coming back to your sense of self, and you feel more empowered. You feel like you have this space for more, like the things that used to bother you before they don't mean shit. And you evolve, and you really get to meet like a new version of yourself. And there's nothing about this work that's quick. Like it takes time, but it's almost kind of like the best thing I can compare it to. It's like, say, like you see a mom, but you see literally when she's pregnant and then when she has her child, there's a night and day, almost immediate difference in the psyche of that woman, the way that she moves in the world, the way that she works, what she cares about, what she chooses to give her energy to. And it's that type of change. It's the only one that I can really think of immediately that you see. That's like what healing is. That's how it presents on the outside. And it's so interesting too. Like, I just kind of think of like, I don't know why. I don't even know if I should be sharing this, but it's almost kind of, so like recent, okay, I'm going to fucking share it. I don't care. This is a tea episode. So your girl got a text message from someone from 10
Oh,
years
we're doing
ago.
this? We're doing this
We're doing this. We're doing this. And it's, oh, dude, I sent Brenda this text message. I wish I could have seen her face. Could have seen her face.
I wish you could have seen my face when I got my text message because the same shit happened to you, happened to me
Like a week
not like
before.
a month ago.
Not even a month. Not even a month.
Less than a month. Something like that.
Can you recap your face when you for yours and then with mine? So if you're on YouTube, check it out.
Recap my face. I said
When you got yours.
Oh.
When you got yours?
When I got mine, I just said, what the fuck?
Okay. And then when I sent you the text message?
Oh. What? Not even what the fuck I said. Huh?
Dude, 10 years. But I was literally thinking, I was like, even like 8 years ago, a version of me would have wanted that. Who I was 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I'm not even the same person. Like, so much of me is the same, but not because I've done so much of the work that person can't even access me because I've evolved light years beyond them. But it's just really interesting to see maybe how like a previous version of yourself would have responded to that. And then the healed version of yourself responds.
It's like, have you seen those trends where it's like I met up with my younger self for coffee?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. It
but
totally is.
For me, it's I met up with my unhealed self to my healed self.
I do think this work, though, like, it pays off. It's so necessary because, like, I'm actually so proud of how the both of us handled all of that. And it's like, oh, fuck, we won. Fuck you both.
By the way, they always come back.
They always come back when they're married and with kids.
Yuck.
Disgusting. But it says a lot about them. Dogs. Anyways, they're never going to listen to this. Woof, woof.
Oh,
anyways,
Lord.
Okay, so the payoffs. Shadow work is really necessary because it's coming back to self. I'm also the most fucking psychic I've ever been because you've created more space within your psyche, within yourself to like just hold more energy and more spiritual gifts, and you feel lighter. And I mean, we say this all the time, the people around you who are exposed to the work, they benefit from it too, whether or not they're conscious to it. And I also think it's really important to capitalize on why people don't want to do the shadow work, because you feel like fucking shit when you're doing it. You don't have energy, you age. I got my first gray hair as a result of like this last year, and I was like, oh hell no.
It's kind of scary too if you think about it, because it's the unknown. But then again, the unknown is also always scary.
Oh, Brie, I love that. It's the unknown part of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I am telling you guys, on my birthday, I went over to my dad's and I was like, Dad, I was crawling out of my skin, crying. Like, it was bad. It was bad.
She was having a midlife crisis and I was living my best life.
You know what it is? It's because all sense of control is truly at the forefront for me. I've never not had a plan in my life. And right now I'm like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
That's the best part.
I mean, okay.
Best part.
I'm not going to share this just yet because it's still kind of in process, but like I literally was like, something fucking monumental is happening to me in September. This is based off of me looking at my chart. Seconds later, I get this crazy opportunity that I told Brianna about, and Brianna's like, if you do not take this opportunity, I'm going to be so upset with you.
Yeah, Lizzie McGuire, if you do not Lizzie McGuire, Lauren Conrad, if you do not take this opportunity, I will literally smack you.
So it's just kind of like there's so much more. It's just, surrender. That's part of my shadow work, guys.
Yeah.
But I also think too, like, there's just a lot of uncomfortable feelings you don't want to sit with, like grief. Depending on if you're working on your root chakra, which is what I've been doing, your money looks a lot different. Money for me is not what I'm used to it being because I'm navigating those waters right now. Your body doesn't respond the same way. Like, I'm not lifting that way or the way that I used to. And like, I'm finally coming out of that slump, and thank God we have really great genes and muscle mass and memory. But it's like, it was almost, honestly, kind of felt like depressive in a sense. It is death. It's total death in a lot of ways, which is kind of like, maiden to mother to crone. Like, women don't get enough credit for what they fucking have to go through. Like, I don't fucking feel bad for men. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, I don't. Maybe I don't understand it, but I think the shape-shifting energy of a woman and all the different roles that she has to play and like go through in one lifetime. That's a lot.
Yeah, I want to punch guys who are like, I carried this kids my entire life. I just want to punch him in the jugular. Get out of here, dude.
Oh, with
Fuck
the
off.
sperm?
Yes. Dumbasses. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. And you just don't have energy and you're just not sure. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So here's the thing. If you're a Cancer, I really, really see you because you're ruled by the moon. So about every 2 to 3 years, you're going to be going through something like this, typically. So that's been my experience, at least. But anyways, you know what? I should define what shadow is. So like, again, that's also important for the context of this conversation. Your shadow in the context of the chakras, it refers to unconscious patterns. So you're the unknown, repressed emotions, fears, and traumas associated with each energy center within yourself, within your psyche. And they can distort the natural flow of energy, which leads to emotional, mental, and even physical imbalances. Because think about it, like how many people they don't feel good and then all of a sudden they just go to the doctor and the first thing that they want to do is give them a pill when really it's just like they need to fucking cry for 4 hours straight.
Right? God. Or you go to the doctor because your stomach's hurting. You know you got to go take a shit.
You know what? So I used to have really, really bad anxiety as a kid, and it always used to land in my tummy. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, bitch, you were so psychic, and your parents didn't see that. And it's like no shame to them, but like actually, I had a mentor that's like was like, you know what, your parents completely missed this with you, and it's like no shame to them. But I thought back to myself when I was a child, and I was like, oh my god, that was truly my intuition and my anxiety and not knowing how to manage my emotions. She was a precocious baby, guys. Childhood was rough in the sense of like my emotions, all my like water. It just, yeah, I think now it's really fun as an adult to, especially you and me, Brandon, to like talk a little bit more about it and see like, oh, like mom and dad are more emotional than we ever thought.
Mm-hmm. Oh
us
yeah.
choosing to, us choosing to do things differently with our kids. And I think that's also something that I'm like really like going in on right now is like I want to do as much healing as possible and take accountability for myself before I have kids because I don't want to pass on anything I could have prevented to them.
Oh, absolutely. And then again, it's always different too because your kids could heal you.
I also think too that it's like, and I really feel for the people that don't want to do it, but they know they have to because like I don't blame them. It's a lot of work. It's hard work, and other areas of your life are going to see changes, and you have to be okay with change. And actually, I think this is a completely different episode, but people want to like take a little bit of a step back from their masculine, lean more into their feminine. Well, it's like, well, if you want to do that, guess what? Shadow work and expect your life to change in all areas because that's what's going to
Absolutely.
happen. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, do you want to go chakra by chakra?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Root. So, some shadow aspects that can present themselves in the root chakra include deep fear of abandonment or instability, hoarding their resources like money or being over materialistic, anxiety about safety or money, distrust of other people in the world, and maybe like prejudice rooted in fear of another. That could be amongst race, cultural, other things. But an example of this is consider someone a person that works very, very long hours when maybe they don't necessarily have to because their fear of poverty or materialistic needs or not having enough or feeling financially secure due to something that occurred to them in childhood is the reason that's motivating them to continue to work that way. So, root chakra. Root chakra, that's a lot of money energy right there. I will say, in this last year of me doing all this work, my relationship to money is so different.
Couldn't agree more. It's way
Do you see?
different.
Do you see that of me? Please, thank you.
Yeah, I do see it of you.
I also think too that's like it's crazy. Like, say I'm just throwing numbers out there, but like I feel more secure now having less money in my account than I did when I had like 6 figures in my account.
Yeah, I can see that because it essentially would give you anxiety. Remember one
Mm-hmm.
of the episodes that we talked about? I think it was one of the money episodes where it's like the amount of money that you have in your account doesn't define you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Totally. And it's safety is an inside job in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
So moving on to the sacral. Shadow aspects, shame around sexuality or your body, addictive behaviors to escape emotional pain, repressed emotions of fear or emotional vulnerability, difficulty forming healthy emotional bonds, and guilt over pleasure or desire. So, an example of this is someone unable to enjoy intimacy or pleasure because of deep seated guilt from, say, religious or cultural programming. We see a lot of that, though, because of like our background and where we grew up, or the schools that we attended.
Yeah, I do. Well, yeah,
Hmm.
it was shamed upon.
Was shamed upon totally, but it's like, it's so interesting because everyone that I know that has gotten married in the church, that went to Catholic school or some type of religious, at least that I know personally, or that went to some type of religious institution and
Do they
decided
not
to
practice anymore?
I don't know if they still like consider themselves Catholic, but they all had sex
Yeah.
before marriage.
Yeah. Gotta test a car out before you fucking buy it.
I was gonna say, I'm like Brianna, it's a pivot tangent. What are
Here's
your
the thing. I'm very much open with my sexuality, open with all of that. Like, I am an open book. If you want to talk to me about anything, by all means, I will talk to you about it. I have
Mhm.
nothing to hide.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Thoughts on only trying out one car instead of multiple over the course of your lifetime?
If it's for you, it's for you. It's not for me. That's all
Okay,
I'm going to say.
so
It's not for me. Look at what sign I am, Gabby. Look at the sexuality that it has behind it.
okay. So when I was in school, I had a lot of shadow around this until I was in my 20s. I was like, I only want to try out one man, and that's not my reality, guys. But I'm not. I don't judge anyone for it because there was a point in my life where that's what I wanted for myself. But now that, like, we've had partners, plural, I'm like, yeah, no, like multiple is for me. Is for me.
That, like I said, if it's for you, it's for you. I'm not going to
Mhm.
judge you. Let your freak flag fly. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, I do. I do understand like I can appreciate it though, like of with only being with one partner in your life, like truly, I really do. But it's
Absolutely.
so
It's beautiful. That is
totally.
definitely beautiful.
But I was talking to mom and dad. Actually, I think even dad said this. And it's so funny, the messaging they gave us when we were kids, it's like, you wait for that until marriage and blah, blah, blah. And then when we get to adults, like, how can you only have sex with one person? Do
Oh,
not
I
do
called
that.
that a whore.
Our like second or third episodes with our dad, so go check that out. He's a character.
So funny.
I'm telling you guys, Virgo, you think everyone thinks Scorpios are the freakiest signs? Nah, Virgos. Y'all nasty.
You nasty.
You nasty. Okay, sacral. Next one, solar. This is the one that comes up in every single session I do. Shadow aspects, shame around sexuality or your body, addictive behaviors to escape emotional pain, repressed emotions of fear or emotional vulnerability, difficulty forming healthy emotional bonds, guilt. Oh, fuck, I just said the same one for sacral. Never mind. Okay, solar, controlling or domineering behavior, deep insecurity masked by arrogance, fear of rejection or failure, people pleasing to gain approval, shame around personal worth. An example is a high achiever who ties their self worth entirely to success and falls into depression when failing. I see this so much with people because they relate to their self esteem to their job, and it's so dumb because that's all I've ever done. So I'm saying that for myself.
Like your job defined you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But also with the solar, it's like people, so it's also possible for chakras to be tied to each other. So like the solar can be driving the root can be driving the solar. There's
I was going to
multiple,
say
like,
you can
yeah,
intertwine them, definitely.
100%. And what I see with the solar, I see this a lot in my practice, and I wonder if it's because a part of me struggled with this in the past, but there's a lot of body dysmorphia that gets stuck in the solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus, I see a lot of like what is it when you're like bulimic, anorexic, eating
Eating
disorders.
disorders?
Yeah, eating disorders. Yep. Yep. Because they don't think they're enough, or they think that they have to be better than someone else, and then, like, it
Ugh,
sits with their body, and, like, that's
those
how
are the
they
people that I wish I can give them a hug.
they think that because their body, like, is like, they're hotter, or they're, like, more pretty than someone else, like, that's their basis of comparison, and that's a really toxic behavior to have that some people just aren't conscious to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard.
it's hard, and the solar plexus is the largest one, and it's the one that's really tampered with on a daily basis because food really impacts that one, and our food system's poisoned.
Oh yeah. Duh. I literally just saw a thing where it was like I've been gluten free for 15 years, but I go to Italy or anywhere else and I can eat the bread and I don't get sick.
You know, if that
What does that tell
opportunity
you?
happens for me to potentially go to Europe in the very near future,
I'll smack you if you don't.
I literally think that I'm just gonna, like, eat bread all day, every day, and it's not gonna make a difference.
What is it? Eat, pray, love.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
As you should.
So, the next one's the heart. Some examples: difficulty forgiving oneself or others, fear of being hurt in relationships, emotional detachment or coldness, codependency and self-sacrifice for validation, and holding on to past grief and heartbreak. Someone who avoids intimacy after a painful breakup and consciously believing love leads to pain.
This one's my bad one, guys. I can admit to this one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I think right now for me it's root. In the past it's been sacral. Solar I'm very much working on. That's like a every day. The heart I'm Gucci with.
Well, I've healed it a lot. I will say that, but that one was my big one.
Yeah, because of the toxic guy that fucking texted you 10 years later with kids and a wife.
Well, not just that one. I've had multiple, and it's
Mm.
annoying. Like my past relationships were never good until I found Prince Charming, who's Paul
Aw.
Bunyan,
Golden retriever energy.
who
Tyler, yeah.
yeah, who pukes so loud that you can probably hear him down the corner of the
Was bad.
street.
He's like, don't get sick in the bathroom because if you wake the baby up, I'm gonna be real. Everyone's gonna be mad at you. It's like, dude, you took the cake. You guys, I was in the RV. I was in the RV just dying. Your mom's like, come inside, and that's how I got everyone sick. So I apologize.
Yep, big
But
mistake there.
but Tyler lost so much weight, and we did
I
not.
hate men for this. I hate men for this.
I was
I'm
like, you
just
look
shit
so
talking
skinny.
men. Shit talking men this episode. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm not. I don't care.
oh,
Yeah, homeboy lost 7 pounds, and I'm over here puking my brains out, and I lost one.
dude.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Okay, the throat. Two more. Three more. Throat. Fear of speaking up or being heard, lying to avoid conflict or rejection, over talking or dominating conversations to feel in control, creative blockages or fear of judgment, hiding one's truth diffident. Actually, I think I have this one right now. An artist suppresses their authentic style because they fear criticism or not being accepted. Yeah, I do this. I hold back on
Oh,
everything.
I was thinking about because you said artist, and I'm so sad. Ozzy Osbourne. Oh,
What?
you didn't know he's damn near dying, Gabs. And him and
No.
Sharon Osbourne, they made a suicide pact. They're going to go to Switzerland and go and essentially kill themselves in peace because they're soulmates. With
Together?
one,
Right? Like
yeah,
soon?
yeah. You haven't heard that? Yeah,
No.
Black Sabbath just officially had their last tour, and Ozzy Osbourne sang. And they talked about, well, not there personally, but they've had a pact since I think 2016 that if any illnesses, um, like cancer related. I think has it Alzheimer's. I don't remember exactly what he has,
Hmm.
but he didn't have a lot of life to live, and I think they last said like 10 years. This was a while ago, and 2016 they signed an agreement, not an agreement, but a pact to, if any of that were to happen, they would go to Switzerland because that's the only place that you're able to not. Well, would you say commit suicide on it? But like end your life peacefully together
Hmm.
with each other because that's what they want to do. If
Hmm.
one goes, they both go. And that breaks my heart.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really sad. I
Hmm.
guess I'm not. I mean, I can really appreciate that. Would you do something like that?
Not with my son. If my son's older and I'm like, no, maybe. I don't know. That's hard to think about. But
Yeah, it was
that's true love. And if they've had that since 2016, Gabby?
yeah, and I just saw a reel on her, and she's like, "Well, when I met him, he was married with 2 other kids." And I was like, "Wait, was this an affair the way that they started?" But she seemed like a ride or die, literally.
I love Sharon. I loved watching that show.
Fun fact: Sharon Osbourne in our hometown, she had to be pulled to an ambulance because she was at the Glen Tavern, and
Oh
yeah, this was like last year. She had like a medical emergency, so.
my gosh.
Hmm. But
Dang.
anyways, throat chakra. I definitely have this. Yeah, throat chakra. But that's also what's suppressed in women the most is their throat. That's a societal issue. I think I picked that up in childhood, though.
Probably.
I think I definitely did, and I know how. Okay, third eye. Third eye, baby. The most coveted of the chakras. Cynicism or denial of intuitive knowledge, obsession with logic or control, spiritual arrogance or delusion, escapism through fantasy or substances, and projecting unacknowledged fears onto others. Someone who dismisses their gut feelings consistently and ends up in toxic situations unaware that they're ignoring their inner wisdom. So, do you remember that guy I went on a date with to the beach and he was super logical and he was a douche? And he was not into any of this stuff. And I was like, this is never going to be something.
Trying to remember. I think vaguely. Yes, I do.
I will spell out his name.
Oh, yeah.
Douche. Very much like that. Super arrogant too. Anyways, yeah, but it's just because they're limited in thinking. They're not open to like possibilities, like aliens exist and they're in the ocean and they're already here.
Next.
I can't help you if you're not open to things that are beyond. Like if you think humans are the only species in
You're
the
high.
universe,
You're high.
I
Get out
can't
of
help
here.
you.
Get out of here. Go eat shrooms or something. I don't know. Go explore. Do something.
You know what? Shrooms, what I see on shrooms is what I see on a daily basis. So I'm just like, yeah, definitely don't eat shrooms.
Well.
But if you're going to do them, go do them on a full moon in nature with someone that's going to help you.
Guys, we don't condone drugs.
We don't do drugs. Allegedly. No, we don't. Okay. Last but not least, crown. Rigid beliefs and thoughts, and no one can tell you differently. We all know that white boy, that farmer white boy, that fulfills this archetype. Political parties aside, it just seems to be white dudes for whatever the reason. They're all crusty with no sunscreen, and I don't know. Maybe that's just what I know to be true. But spiritual bypassing, avoiding issues by transcending them, disconnection from your entire body or earthly life, feelings of meaningless or spiritual despair, gurus or ego inflation from spiritual knowledge. I know a lot of those in this space, and blind faith without discernment. All shadowy aspects to be worked out in the crown. An example of this is a person uses meditation to avoid dealing with trauma, insisting that they're above their emotions or their body's needs. How many people do you know that run that way, Nick? Brianna? As I say, Nick.
Did you just call me Nicole? Rude.
Almost. No.
No, you did. You started. I caught you. I heard it.
I did, but I didn't mean it.
Rude. It's fine,
myself.
guys. I'm leaving. I'm done. Bye.
She's
Catch
not.
you later.
You love doing the show.
I do. It's fun.
It's fun. No, but back to the comment. There's a lot of people that spiritual bypass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I definitely think now. And which ones do you have, Brie? I have root. I used to have
Heart.
sacral, heart,
Probably heart and root.
and throat for me. But I also feel like you becoming a mommy really expanded the heart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And finding
Softens
somebody
you.
that's actually a gentleman.
I know. He's a unicorn.
Mm-hmm. But I will say this, he's the gentleman that will open the door for you, but he'll smack my ass when I walk in. So he's a gentleman, but there's still a side to him too.
Yeah, and he's kind to people. He's very respectful.
It's weird. People are very drawn to him, and I don't know if it's his height, but because he hates people. I don't get it. He hates people, but so many people are like gravitated to him, and then he has these conversations, and I'm like, okay, dude, let's go. Like, we got to get going, and he's just rambling and talking for hours. So I'm like, do you really hate people, or is it just
He's also
this facade.
He's 6'7", yeah?
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's the height. I don't know. Towers over us. He was racially profiled recently. I was like, what's that feel like, Tyler?
Gosh. Yeah, that one's a good one. I told Dad, and Dad was dying.
I know, he told me last night. You got to share it, and then we'll close out, because that's a good story.
So, we always joke around and say that Tyler is more Mexican than me, which I will say, he definitely has jumped into our culture tenfold. Like, he does everything. And so, you know the fruit stands on the side of the road where you can get, like, chopped up fruit with the limon and chimoy and tajin? Well, he wanted to go and get one and bring it home to me because he knows that those are my favorite. And he stopped, and this elderly Hispanic lady was like, "You don't belong here. You can't get any of this." And Tyler was like, "Wait, what the fuck just happened right now?"
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't get old.
Granted, I get it. Like, you see this guy, and not only that, he has a huge lifted truck. Like, he has a big lifted truck. He's this tall white boy, and he's trying to go get fruit for his wife. Little do they know that he's married to a Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
And they just says, like, "You don't belong here. You can't get it." I don't know. Tyler, being that he is, like, it takes him a lot for him to break too. He was just walked away, just like me. Just completely walked away and was like, "Fine, he's not getting my money now." And then left. Then he got home and he just so oh my gosh. So yeah, Tyler unfortunately got racially profiled.
Is the one on the corner between the houses?
No.
Oh.
The one down by Vaughn's, by the school.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-way stop. Yeah. It's like, all I wanted was some fruit.
Dang, I just want to give you my money. Dang, all right. Damn, I really had fun with this episode.
Me too.
So shadow work, friends. You want to ascend? You want to become more psychic? You want to see dead people in front of you with your own 2 eyeballs, not the third? Shadow work.
Don't be afraid of the unknown.
All right, we're doing healing waters. All right, what's the message? The pearl, alchemy, reward at the end, from grit to grace. This is true. The work pays off. Not fun, but it always pays off. And that's what this card is relaying. So lean into it, guys. There you go. Pays off.
And it always pays off.
So it is. And guess what? Yeah, that's what actually, well, I'll close it out with this. My shaman was like, because I have some really, really big changes coming in the next 2 months. And she's like, you're going to be gifted. Like, you will be rewarded for the trenches that you have just walked through. Not even walked. Sat in for a year. So it does pay off, friends. But yeah, that's what we got for you. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.